Welcome to the podcast. I'm here with Travis Stancil, and man, Travis, is you're big news here in a small town, and I'm just glad to get to know you and catch up with you. But tell me, let's kind of back up a little bit and tell me your backstory.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
Shout out to Mike, guys. I love what you're doing for this community. Like this setup's awesome, and this is like what Morganton needs.
Thanks,
so,
man.
You know, Morganton, we're so lucky to have Mike and everything he's bringing to this community. So he's a rock star. So yeah, my backstory: I was born and raised here.
Yeah.
You know, my grandparents, Mitzi and Stan.
Oh yeah,
people.
I love them.
And you know, I grew up, went to school here, went to Patton, and. You know, I was just big into the performing arts ever since a little kid. So.
Okay, so that's where I want to start at, because I love performing arts and the arts and all those kind of things, but you've kind of taken it to a whole different level. Where did it start? I mean, as a kid and then Patton, and how did you, was there people like, I always kind of skip through drama classes and things like that. I wish I wouldn't have. But now, tell me a little bit more there.
So where it started is, you know, my mother was a music major and a minor in theater, and my father was a dance instructor. So I'm kind of like the perfect creation of both.
Right.
And so just growing up, you know, we were always dancing around the house. My dad would always like teach me and my brother dancing, or my mom would always be doing like community theater at like the old rock school. So that we would be like the kids that played the extras. And, you know, just the girls were so hot. Like as a little kid, I was like, these women are so hot. Like,
I know.
So I just wanted to be around it all the time.
Hey, no, that's a good thing.
Yeah, we fell in love with it, and you know, then we started dancing, and you know, growing up here, I love and going back to you, I love the progression of Morganton. Right. You know, we've come such a long way. So you know, we've always had old rock school, but now there's just so many more outlets for performing arts, and then you know what I obviously bring here, what I'm known for. But you know, growing up, it was just so big. I grew up with that baseball class when the Morganton went all the way to the World Series. So they opened up that major baseball field, and it was like such a thing that every parent got their son involved in baseball. Right. Which I love sports. I'm not good at sports.
That's
me. I never saw anyone here as a male doing performing arts until I went to my sister's recital. Shout out to Debbie Huffman, who. You know, she's been serving this community. I can't even quote how long. It's such a phenomenal teacher. But she had 280 students back then. Wow. There was one male. Wow. And I saw that one little kid dance. He had the rhinestone vest on. And he was in the middle, and there was all these cute little girls around him. I want to be him.
Look at that dude.
And then I told my dad, I was in 4th grade, I was like, I really want to dance. Yeah. So he took me up to the Asheville Ballroom where he was a teacher at, and I would go to the social parties every Friday and Saturday night. That was what I spent my weekends doing, rather than hanging out with my friends or just doing mischievous
things. You wasn't at the roller skating rink?
No, never. Wasn't no bowling alley, no marquee, nothing.
No shooting pool?
No,
Come on.
I went dancing with all the people my dad's age, all the middle-aged people. And what that skill set taught me is, you know, as a man, you had to ask a woman to dance. Yeah. And I am this little 4th grader, and I would ask these like women to dance. Yeah. Because I just always wanted to be like my dad in that sense. He was just so cool, and you know my dad, he's such a great guy. Yeah. And he would walk in a room, and just it would light up, and people just loved and respected him, and he just had he's still, I mean, I'm speaking as if he's dead. He's alive. Right. Living life in Florida.
We love dads.
And so he, I just loved like how people just responded to him.
Sure.
He was just such a showman, so I just wanted that myself, and so I just kept diving into that education system of learning that art form. And now here I am, and I brought it to what it is now. Yeah,
it's amazing because, you know, when you're going through that kind of transformation and that kind of, you know, now on the other side, you got the good old boys, you know, it's like, well, who's that guy I think he is, you know? And I was always like, that's so funny. You know, my ex-wife, you know, she always thought me and my best friend were gay. You know, we talked about this in another story because we were clean, you know. And I said, well, I guess I'm a gay person because I like being clean. I take showers and stuff like that. But, you know, I was a mama's boy, you know, and my dad was a honky-tonker, you know, and raising a beer joint and all that kind of stuff. And Daddy loved to dance. My mom and dad could dance too, man. I mean, they were just showmen too, you know, doing flips over the backs, all that kind of stuff. Wow. They were really good at it, and they danced all the time also. But that being said, you know, I was always the one, you know, just trying to figure out how this stuff works, and then seeing what you done. You know, people give you a hard time, you know, because you know you're feminine, or so to speak, but not that you're feminine. feminine.
Right.
You know, that's just, you know, that's just damn professional as hell, man.
Right.
I mean, I love stuff like that.
It's so funny you say that, and I love knowing that, because, you know, we're in different generations, that you even went through that, because in school everyone thought I was gay.
Oh yeah.
And now I tell people, and like when I like mentor the future, I'm like, if you're called gay, like that is such a compliment, and just such a shout out to the LGBT community, because they're really doing it right. Like if you look at those men, like I would love to be in gay shape. Like they live in the gym. You know what I mean? They're in shape. Their fashion sense are so well kept. So when like women come up to me and they're like, "Are you gay?" Like I take that such as a compliment. And then when I say, "No, I'm not," it's I got a funny story now that we're talking about gay. This is great. That was kind of like my like secret weapon in like landing the girls back in the day. Is they thought I was gay, and I'm like, no, I'm not
Girl,
gay.
come over here, let me fix your hair.
So, they would come on to me all the time because they thought I was gay, and then it just kept leading to more and more. And they're like, I wonder if he is gay. And it's always like these women, they want what they can't have, right? So when they have that, so I definitely.
I'd be more like Foghorn Leghorn.
So you can tell two clean guys why people would think we're gay, but you know, you're happily married. I have a beautiful girlfriend, and represent.
That's right, man. Well, you know, you got to be clean. You know, it's just all about taking out trash.
It's the swag, man.
Swag, man. Exactly. Well, Travis, let's talk some more, kind of about, you know, how things kind of morphed into where you're at now, and what's going on now in your life, because you're not in Morganton. Right. Man, like you said, I'm from the Rock Hill, Charlotte area, so you know, when I've come up here, you know, I want to bring a lot of things that I miss. You know, that a lot of performing cities have, and restaurants and things like that. But now you're all over the country.
All over, man.
And you've seen all kind of stuff. And, you know, what do you see happening?
Yeah, so growing up in Morganton, you know, I was really, I don't want to say isolated, but I didn't see a lot.
Right.
And then it was when I was 18, I was offered, you know, I wasn't smart in school. You know, in the education program, I was actually in the bottom 4 percentile of my class.
Well, I mean, we really got something going there, because you know, the teacher used to tell me, Miss Stroud, you can sit down now.
Yeah. So college was not in my cards. It was not on the table for me. So I was given an offer to go work at a ballroom in Jupiter, Florida, which is in the richest county.
Wow.
Ever. And it's like to get to go work with those people. And I just went, I literally packed up my car, put everything I owned in it. Like I found a room on Craigslist. You don't want to hear how sketchy that sounds. Like we hear Craigslist now. And we're like, well, but back then.
Whatever happened to Travis?
Right. Yeah.
he rented a room down in Florida.
Right. So then I went down to Florida. I learned so much. You know, then I got into traveling. I was doing modeling. I was doing shows. I was doing gigs. And, you know, what I see happening in the world is just, you know, is adapting to change. You know, we're constantly changing. And when you listen to like business professionals talk about like every 10 years, the business models change and what you have to do in forms of advertisement and tactics. And I can in firsthand say that as a producer, like how I used to produce shows is so much different than how I produce them now. There's really no common denominator between any of them now. So what I love that Morganton's picking up on is we are now being receptive to change and, you know, progressing into the future. And what I see happening in bigger cities is, you know, we are pulling away from like franchises or you know, things like that, and people are being like innovators and they're starting their own businesses. And we have some great like local businesses, restaurant places to go. Like Homer's is a fire spot to go. The Olive, Root and Vine Treat. Like we've got some great spaces and even more to come.
I know.
And that's the key, is just people, entrepreneurs, like Morganton locals and natives. And that's important for us as a community, is supporting your locals. Like it's not going to the franchise, it's going to your neighbor, your brother, your sister, your fellow Samaritan of this county, and supporting their business. And when you go to there and you see their unique twist on it, like Root and Vine, like they support all local North Carolina organic farms. So every ingredient from that restaurant comes from a North Carolina organic farm. That's so cool that this restaurant here in Morganton is supporting farms from across North Carolina.
Exactly.
So that's where I talk about the adapting of change. Some new things that are coming up on the space, which, you know, great things to come in Morganton, especially under your direction, what I plan on bringing here. But, people are coming up with like great nightlife entertainment from breweries to event spaces to clubs to bars to speakeasy lounges. Like that's the one thing I would love to see Morganton get. My favorite thing to do is to go to a nice like private speakeasy lounge. It's very intimate. You get a bomb DJ. It's got beautiful craft cocktails. It's romantic. It's intimate. It's just got such a vibe to it. And when you get to go there and just sit on the couches and just be with your group and hear the music and mingle amongst the peers there, like that's something when Morganton starts to get into that, like that's going to be next level.
Next level. Yeah, that's we'll have to walk them into that one. That's Sky Needle stuff there, but
so what I'm known for Morganton is obviously, and what we're here to talk about today is my Dancing with the Burke Stars event, and this is a charitable event where we create a platform to raise money for local charities and give them more of a voice in this community, because we partner these local charities with big time Samaritans of the community, figureheads, leaders, business owners that have massive followings that can raise massive capitals for these charities. So I've created this event that creates a platform for these charities, and that's the key for people to understand with exactly what this event is, because yes, it's a fundraiser, but it's not just put on by one organization.
Not selling mattresses.
By my, it's put on by my production company. We create a platform and a
Top
stage
notch.
like no other. Thank you.
Yeah, top notch.
And we are creating platforms for these individuals to be able to raise maximum dollar for these local charities. And so
I love it.
That's my way of giving back to the community. But again, going back to the progression of Morganton and things to come here, like breweries and bars, nightlife, just like cool, great stuff.
Yeah, it's got to be there. And it's going to take people like you, Travis, that have a heart for the hometown, and but yet been traveled enough to see. Man, there's a lot of things that the big city does offer. And I'm all for that too. And I love the small town and the community and those kind of things. But at the same time, I like to have the best for myself. So that has to be an entertainment and like I said, whatever it is that the community's thriving on and building on, man, it's got to be doing that downtown, man. It's got to be thriving. People got to want to come, and there's got to be places to eat, park, all those kinds of safety, security, but events that are, this over the top, and I believe that they can be done. And Morgan can be the place that people want to come to.
Absolutely. And going back to speaking on the behalf of Morganton and then my event, it starts with us. We've got to be the change that we want to see in this community. We've got to be the people that take this to the next level to better the next generation that's to come. We want to give more resources and more opportunities to our future. This is our legacy. This is our history. So we've got to bring in and show people what Morganton's about. And when as a kid, it was like I felt like I was in a fishbowl and I just couldn't climb out. As an adult, I really have such an appreciation for this town and this community, and now their recessiveness to change and what we're surrounding in and just the perfect location, how beautiful Lake James is.
I know.
You're a hop and a skip from Boone or Asheville or Charlotte, like major cities. So it's now what can we do to bring more business here? And like my advice as a business owner and a very well-thriving entrepreneur is it starts with you. There's so many empty spaces here in Morganton. And that's what really drives me crazy.
I know.
They're just ready for you to jump in there and put your idea, what you got in your head, you can bring it to life. If it's your restaurant or if you got a business idea or just something that betters the community. These gyms, like we got great gyms coming up, like Motown CrossFit, like what they're doing over there is awesome.
I know, man. It's amazing. If you've got a dream, if you got a passion for something, you can run with it.
Got to go for it.
And I'm like you, man. It just like to me, 10 years, 15 years ago, there wasn't business. To me, everywhere I walk now, it's like, oh, look at this business here. Look at this business here. It's like they're falling out of the pocket, but you got to have people to run them.
Exactly.
You got to have people with the passion, the entrepreneurs. You got to have the support from the town. That's that. I'm big on that. Because I've been here, and building supplies for, with Lowe's for years and with other kinds of, and those kind of things. And now my own business, I'm all about the service part of it. What can I do as a town to assist you.
Right.
And I think when you create a place where people can have their business, succeed in their business, and thrive in their business, that's when it's going to really take off.
Well, it's about, so for me, when I started this show, Dancing with the Burke Stars in 2016, we had no budget, we had no capital, we had no reputation, and just really, I owe the biggest amount of gratitude to the stars that came forward then. When I was a no one and this show was nothing, I had figureheads and community leaders that stepped up to do this event, and it's because of them we're here today.
Yeah, exactly.
And this event has grown like catastrophically, like it's monumental now. Like, the production value that we put in, the talents that I bring in, like, I never thought that I would be running a production company that prides itself on world-class talents. I work with the best in the industry. I just auditioned a girl who submitted to my company who was a Juilliard graduate.
Man, I love stuff
Can you imagine? Like, I didn't even go to college.
Yeah.
And I started a company, and I started it here, and I've taken it across the country now.
Yeah.
And I had someone who just graduated from Juilliard submit to me and was like, I want to work for you. She's got all the credentials and the talent in the world, and she wants to come work. I'm world champion. She's traveled across the world, and she wants to dance with me because she sees what I do in all these different communities and with these shows, and how I'm able to create platforms that really showcase the art of who she is as a performer. And alongside all my other dancers or talents or film teams that are affiliated with Stance Productions, we come in deep.
Yeah.
We come, and I say,
but you got passion, and that's, man, people can sense passion.
Right.
They can sense enthusiasm, and when somebody's enthusiastic, it's like, where do I get on that, and you bring that.
This is what I love what you're doing, and I want to talk about you for a sec. You're doing a podcast where you create platforms where we can openly talk. There's a lot of podcasts out there that get a lot of traffic because they do these get rich quick, you can do this to make money, and they're trying to put everyone off their passion and put them down these paths like real estate, like Amazon drop shipping, something that you're not passionate about.
Right.
And like Steve Harvey once said, and if you really want a mentor or any books to read, like, he's such a wise man. And if you read up on his story of where he came from to where he is now, he gives the best advice, and he created scenarios talking about talents are not just singing and dancing, right? Talents could be cutting hair. He talked about frying chicken, baking pies.
Right.
What's that? Earl Baker's her name. We might have to cut this so I can find out her name. I do want to tell this. Earl Baker. What's that pie? I'm going to look it up. Toss me a phone.
Oh, man, hang on.
This is so good. So this is why you want it in
Time
here.
out.
Sorry. He'll be able to.
We'll figure this out.
They sell them everywhere. The pies, the key limes, they got the chocolate, the truffle.
My goodness, man.
I'm going to look it up. Famous
Not my Little Debbie's
pie and
that's all I got. It's Little Debbie, man.
grocery stores.
Now that lady that made Entenmann's, those donuts, it's hard to beat those Entenmann's. But you hear the backstory on that lady, man. The food that built America. That's amazing stuff, man.
The Marie Callender.
Marie Callender, okay.
Marie Callender.
That's more of a frozen food, ain't it?
Yeah, well, let me tell you the story.
Okay, well, hey,
Harvey tells you about Marie Callender.
Right.
So going back to talking, talents are not just singing and dancing and acting.
Right.
It could be cutting hair, frying chicken, mowing grass, walking dogs, baking pies. And then he talked about Marie Callender.
Okay.
Marie Callender was a single mom waitress at a diner that was closing, and she was on the verge of losing her job. She went to her boss and said, hey, a lot of my clients, the people that come here, they love my pies. Let me bake a pie, and we'll sell the pie here and to help bring some money in here, right? Whole pie sold out in an hour.
Right.
He had to send her home to go make another one. That store, months later, was not even there. People weren't there buying the burgers anymore. They were buying the pies.
Yeah.
And guess where she's at now? It's Marie Callender, sold in every single grocery store.
Ain't that
She was
something?
baking pies. She had a passion for baking pies.
Right.
She worked in a diner as a waitress. And to save her job, said, I will bring a pie to you and sell it. And it was so good. And now look at her.
Yeah.
Baking pies.
Baking
You
pies,
got
man.
hairdressers,
That's
people
right.
cutting hair, $10, $15, $20 haircuts.
Awesome.
Making millions of dollars owning different barbershops across the country. So we're in a time where we are pushed to think the get rich scheme is well and alive, and it's not. Your passion, if you will build it, he will prepare it. And I don't know if we can get spiritual on this podcast or not.
You chart the course by the dream in your heart.
Right. And that's what it's about. So if you've got that dream, if you've got that passion or the idea, that gift inside of you, I'm a big, believer in God. Again, I don't know. It's your podcast. Shut me up if you need
God.
to. But
who is that? Never heard of him.
He gave me such a passion for dance. And I'm a dancer.
Well, David danced. I mean, come on. I love dancing. If you ain't dancing, okay, we talk spiritual now. I can get into you on this. I love dancing.
When you think about dance, you don't think of a multi-million-dollar empire. And there's so many out there. And I have a company now that's just known across the country. I have offices in LA, New York, Atlanta, Vegas. I'm doing a residency in Fort Lauderdale. We're doing a show every single Friday and Saturday from December to June.
Right.
We're doing a touring show. We're doing 16 cities. I do 4 major fundraiser events a year. You can't even hire me anymore. I used to be for hire.
I got to take a nap. I mean, God, when are you going to sleep? I mean, this is crazy.
My girlfriend tells you I don't sleep. I work. But when you've got a dream,
I know,
and you're passionate about it, you don't need an alarm clock to wake you up.
I
I woke up at 5 this morning. Because
I want to see Mike Stroud.
I fell asleep when my promo video was being made. He was like, I'll have it to you at some late time tonight. I fell asleep. My body woke up because I was so eager to see that promo video.
Sure.
And then I was up and I got my day going.
Man, that's awesome.
When you've got passion like that, and that's the advice to the Morganton Samaritans here, when you have passion or you have a gift or a dream, go for it, because if you will build it, he will prepare it. And I can testify to that firsthand. I come from here. I have a great loving family. They were not financially well off at all. We didn't have money for extracurricular activity. He did this.
Right.
He did this for me because I had a passion.
Sure.
And I wanted to utilize this gift. And I promised him, I'm like, if you can find me a way to make this happen, I promise I'm going to come back and help others. And that's what I do. And that's what I do with Dancing with the Burke Stars. I give these local celebrities a platform to tell their story.
Exactly.
I give platforms for local charities to be able to raise maximum dollar for them. And I get an event that gets us all together as a community to where we can come together and celebrate each other.
Exactly. Man, I love it, man. That's like a show, like a church service in the streets, man.
On a lighter note, we're now able to announce Mike Stroud's dancing this year.
Hey, man, woo!
And we are so excited. So, Mike, I want you to tell people, because, again, talking about the charities. Mike's dancing. He's a fan of the show. He's been. I love how I like to change gears now. It's like my podcast now. Mike's dancing. He loves the show. He's a fan of dancing. He's a fan of what we got here in Burke County. And I've promised the community, as long as you all want this event, I'm going to bring this event back to you year after year after year, because the people bring this event. The sponsor money that we get for this event, we are so highly blessed and favored. The community wants this event, and it's my obligation as a leader and a Morganton native that I bring this event to them. So now Mike's got this mega platform. He's going to get to dance with some of the best in the industry.
Exactly.
And he gets to raise money for a charity that means so much to him. So, Mike, let's go ahead and drop the ball. What's that charity you're raising money for?
South Mountain Children's Home, man.
Tell us about it.
Well, South Mountain Children's Home has been around for a long time. I'm familiar with it through Arwen March, who's, she's like a right-hand person to me in business. And Chris Jernigan, he's a city councilman here.
Great guy.
He used to be the president, I believe, or run those kinds of things. I don't know all the full details, but I just like what they're doing, and anytime that you can help the kids, I'm all about the kids. That's all I'm trying to do with our business and everything else, is to promote for the next generation, give them the best and everything, and that's encouraging to me. So that's why I'm supporting them, and I'm excited about dancing and all those kind of things, and just being a part of an event that you guys have created, and it's just it's going to be a special night.
It's a sellout.
Yeah,
we're basically sold out, and the tickets haven't even gone on sale yet. Can you believe that?
That's awesome.
We started this event $10 and $20 tickets.
Yeah.
Now here we are, $83 ticket. It's one of the hottest tickets to get in Morganton. They've not even hit the market yet. And between what we've got to reserve for sponsors, what you've got for your guests, and all the other stars got for theirs,
awesome.
We're basically sold out.
Jamie Buchanan's going to be there.
Oh, Jamie.
He's been on the podcast.
Star. Jamie the rock star.
I keep telling him, now he can bring his little white mugs himself down there and try and do all his little, hip hop stuff he might want to try. But, he's dealing with the master here. But, no, I love Jamie and everything that's going on with Jamie. You got people like that's involved in the show, and just all the Brian Stamey, and I'm excited, just because you got your community leaders, community business people, and people like Jamie that's doing so many different things. Jamie's a real person that we're honored to have here in the community.
He's got a heart of gold.
He's teaching the children, he's reaching the kids, and that's where it starts.
And add it with Jamie.
Yeah.
That's another great example. Jamie is a great example for what you and I have been telling these people today. What detailing cars?
Yeah.
Who would have thought guy from Morganton detailing cars would have a business, an empire like what he's got, who is reclaimed across the world, cleaning cars? That's crazy to me.
People don't know what's happening here in Morganton yet. We're here. That's why you want to be here, is because we're here.
Identify your gift. No matter what it is, if you don't do another thing in your lifetime, do this. Identify your gift. Live in your gift. Execute your gift. If you build it, he will prepare it. Jamie is a phenomenal example. When I called Jamie, normally I have to do a lot of convincing to get these people to do this show. He was jumping up and down, yee-hawing, flattered, excited to get to do this for his community and his charity.
It's awesome.
It's going to be such a phenomenal cast. Later during the podcast, we'll tell everybody, all the stars, all the charities who they're raising money for. But yeah, man. Mike, so is there any dance styles or moves you're definitely wanting to try or not try?
Hey, there's nobody can beat me on the hustle. The bump,
Uh-oh, man.
Going old school.
Get ready now.
No. It doesn't matter. I like to dance. We was talking about this earlier, being with the girls and stuff like that. My brother, Ernie, bless his heart, I loved him. He was always a dancer,
Right.
And Ernie was hurt in a car accident when they didn't have seat belts and stuff. He went through a front windshield.
Wow.
So he was kind of disfigured. So he had a complex as a young man, about that. So he learned to dance really well. So he always danced with the girls.
Good for him.
Because most guys don't want to, dance with the girls. That's what they So he helped me a lot.
I can't figure that out. Why?
The girls, they want to dance, so dance with them. And, so that, kudos to my brother Ernie for always wanting to dance and stuff like that. And I'm really excited, Travis, with everything that's going to take place and what we're going to do. It's going to be an awesome event.
Oh, and the education that you're going to get through this process and the experience of getting to be a part of a production to this caliber, and you are going to love Stance Productions. My roster for this show of who we bring in, I have the most job applications for this show because, I tell my story. It's important for the people that work for me that they know where their leader, I don't ever really like to identify as a boss, where their leader comes from. Somebody's loud and proud today, baby.
Yeah, man.
NASCAR time.
Their leader.
Stan the man. Sunday night, he's on that couch. NASCAR time. Anyway, so I tell my story of how I started my directing career with this show back in 2016, and it was my community who got behind me as an entrepreneur, a performer, and a new director, and now I've grown this company. So it is one of my most sought-out jobs, because how it works in my company, I post the jobs, people send in their applications. You would be flabbergasted by how many job applications from dancers from Vegas, LA, and I open it up to all of them. I don't just pick from one office. So we bring in people from New York, Florida, LA, Atlanta, Vegas, all over. And we bring in the best of the best. And it becomes like a reality show. Because, that 10 days before the show, it gets intense. They're all up at a house at the lake. They're just having a great time. They're getting to meet each other. Because, when I sit here and say, I've hired over 2,000 people, and I just scroll through my roster, I just cannot believe how many people want to affiliate and work with me. It's so humbling. I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
And so they get to meet each other. You get people from different walks of life, different styles of dancing background, and they love coming into this community because of the love and support this community gives one another. So they're all looking forward to it. I got so many people wanting to come back. I bring the best of the best. You know, we got a Juilliard major coming. That's probably going to be your partner, by the way. I tried her out 2 days ago.
She's going to say, who is this guy that
she's going to make you look like $1 million. That girl is fire. Oh, my gosh. She's a dynamite.
Well, your gift always makes room for you.
Right.
You know, and that's obviously the case with you, Travis. And I'm excited. And man, we got to talk more. You know, that's the good thing I like is hearing people's story and what's going on and all those kind of things. And thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. For more information on Dancing with the Burke Stars, you can visit dance4acause.com. All the stars are posted on there. You can read their bios. We got direct links to their donation page. If you donate money in support of them, that money, 100% of that automatically goes to the charity. If you are a business and you want to sponsor Dancing with the Burke Stars, Stance Productions has partnered with you all and bettering all the local charities here. So 15% of your donation and sponsorship, if you're a business sponsoring, 15% will go to these stars charities. So if you want to support Mike, you go on the website, you fill out the application, you click Mike, and 15% of that donation is allowed to be made out right to Mike's local charity here in Morganton that's doing such great things. So we look forward to seeing you all February 10th at Comma. If you can't get your ticket, make sure to hit up one of these stars because they literally got them all. This guy's got a section of 150, so he's coming in deep this year. He's going for the win. So adding to Dancing with the Burke Stars and on this podcast here with Mike Stroud, we would love to get to announce the stars so you can be able to know who's doing and dancing this year, joining the man himself here.
It's going to be awesome.
So we got Cassidy Jerice.
Yep.
She's the newest addition to Elm Salon. I love what those girls have brought here to Morganton. They have raised the caliber. Yep. So, you know, they are a top-notch salon right downtown West Union Street. She's the newest addition from New York, so I definitely was important for me to create a platform for her as a new member of Morganton to be able to raise money for a charity here and advertise and promote her and that brand of that business. So we are so excited to have her. Awesome. She's also our youngest contestant, so shout out to her. Jamie Buchanan, the rock star himself, the legend, almost could even say a face of Morganton. Him and Mike are going to go right at it.
He got his face on the building, all right. People still think it's me, but we'll tell them it's Jamie.
I drove by and I'm like, you're my hero, dude, because I envision when I own a business, there's going to be a statue or a painting of me.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
He's going to have the armies run by.
Me, you, and Jamie, we're just so good looking. It's like you can't not put your face on it. You know what I mean? When God gives you a face like this, it's got to be here. We got the man himself, Mike Stroud, Brian Stamey, one of the top insurance agents here in Morganton, repping and protecting you with Farm Bureau. Brian's such a funny dude. He's like literally a linebacker, so I'm so excited to get to watch him dance. And then we got Corey Totten. Corey is a Morganton native. She also has her own salon downtown Morganton, and she is one of the most talented cosmetologists you will have here in Morganton. She is booked through the roof. If you want an appointment with her, you're looking like 6 months out. This girl is dynamite. She is full of personality, just such a beautiful girl too. In and out. She is just, Morganton is so lucky to have Corey Totten. And then we have Christian Amber, who is Christian Abner. She's a paralegal. I grew up with Christian's daughter, Logan, who danced last year, who's the property managers of Murphy Farms Apartments, which, again, I love that came to Morganton.
Oh, yeah.
Top notch. Couldn't have been done better. Bringing more housing and more people to Morganton. Logan's the face of that place, and we're so excited to have her mom dancing this year. And then we got Deborah Benfield, which has my entire heart and soul. Deborah is like the woman in Morganton. Her daughter, Amber Bernard, danced last year, literally killed it. She raised maximum money for her charity. She brought in maximum money for the production costs, and she shut it down. I don't think Beyonce could have done it any better than Amber last year.
That's awesome.
Amber killed it, and I'm so excited to have her mom. And then last but certainly not least, Christy Anderson, who is just such a doll here in Morganton. She works at Morganton Pediatrics. Is that right?
That's right.
That is right?
I believe so.
I think it's Morganton Pediatrics.
Yeah, that's where my son goes.
Yes, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Perfect. Christy Anderson was in support of Casey Hildebrand, crazy lady, I love her, who did the show last year. And Christy called me the next day. I was literally on the way to the airport dropping off dancers, like, okay, ready to get rid of these people. And Christy's like, hi, I'm Christy Anderson. I'm with Morgan to Pediatrics, and I want to do your show next year. The next day, she has been signed up since February 5th, when the show was February 4th last year. So we are so excited to have her. So that's Christy Anderson, Deborah Benfield, Christian Christian Abner, that's the right one. Let me start over for you. Christy Anderson, Deborah Bernard, Christian Abner, Corey Totten, Mike Stroud, Jamie Buchanan, and Cassie Drees. We are so excited to see them dance this year. Dancing with the Burke Stars, February 10th. Come see your boy Mike Stroud, and you'll see the best of Stance Productions. Thank you guys so much.